45 years ago, an offshore oil rig blew up 6 miles off the coast of Santa Barbara, California. Before it could be stopped, 3 million gallons of crude oil gushed into the ocean, killing thousands of birds, fish, and ruining the miles of the California beaches and costing America millions of dollars. This event sparked the ongoing debate on whether offshore drilling is worth the risks.
Hi, I'm Jess Cascio, and I'm here to talk about the risks of offshore drilling and whether we should continue using oil rigs to search for oil in our oceans. Offshore drilling comes with many severe risks, such as the destruction of oceanic habitats, negative impact on fishing and tourism, and enormous costs for cleanup if an oil spill or blowout occurs.
So what is crude oil? Well, it's a fossil fuel millions of years in the making. Years ago, when small creatures like algae died, they fell to the ocean floor. These organisms were covered in mud, which turned to rock. When pressure and heat was added, and in the absence of oxygen, these organisms turned to crude oil or petroleum. This entire process takes about 1 million years, and the oil sits in reservoirs along with natural gas, which is formed. Petroleum consists of hydrocarbon molecules in 3 of the 4 main classes: alkanes, cycloalkanes, and aromatics. We use seismic and gravitational surveys and geologic mapping to find these reservoirs. Then, scientists set up oil rigs to retrieve the crude oil. Drilling rigs can take the form of a drill ship, a semi-submersible vessel, or a floating production platform.
This crude oil may be worth the risks. Oil is an essential resource, not only in medicine, but also in everyday life. When's the last time you filled your car with gas? We need to consider the economic benefits of offshore oil rigs.
Yes, there are other ways of acquiring crude oil, but according to Gale opposing viewpoints, setting up more offshore drilling rigs could lead to cheaper prices at the pump and lower America's dependence on foreign oil companies. It would be devastating for our white sandy beaches to be covered in oil, but as Americans who use cars and planes which are fueled by that oil to get to those beaches, we should understand there needs to be trade-offs. If offshore drilling continued, money would stay in America instead of being transferred to the pockets of foreign countries. According to Gale, we are the only developed nation that doesn't make use of 87% of its offshore energy resources. Small coastal towns in Canada have experienced a huge economic boost because of offshore oil and gas development, showing that offshore drilling has a very positive economic impact. Opening areas in the Gulf of Mexico could create well over 800,000 jobs and grow the economy, enhancing our national security. On the same note, crude oil is one of the most important natural resources. It's used to manufacture all chemical products. The world uses almost 14 billion liters of oil every single day. The risks of offshore drilling are pretty well known. There is a lot that can go wrong with the offshore drilling process. According to the U.S. Minerals Management Service, the chance for a significant spill or accident is very high. Natural disasters can also contribute to the destruction of oil rigs. For example, Hurricane Katrina was responsible for damaging over 100 oil platforms, dumping around 750,000 gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Critics point out that more oil rigs would not be sufficient enough to alter the oil in the market by more than a few cents. There is also an ongoing environmental debate. Oil spills have the power to completely destroy oceanic habitats. Oil spills also damage the tourism industry because people choose not to visit beaches covered in oil. Coastal fishermen also suffer because their catch is killed by the oil. So the question now is, should America continue with offshore drilling? I believe that offshore drilling is essential, and we cannot afford to simply stop retrieving oil using oil rigs. However, considering the environmental impact that oil spills have, I believe that more tax money should be spent on figuring out safe and efficient ways to clean up oil spills. Or better yet, figure out how to build safer and more environmentally friendly oil rigs. If an oil spill were to occur, it should be the responsibility of the oil company to put money into cleanup efforts. We should also put money into searching for cleaner, reusable energy sources so that eventually oil and other fossil fuels won't be necessary. I believe we cannot afford to lose the economic benefit that offshore drilling brings America. Oil is essential in everyday life, but we should be conscientious of the effect it has on the environment.